We only have a limited time to put towards the thing we love, making music. There's probably a bunch of things that you're putting time and energy into that just don't matter as much as you think. Today, we're gonna go through some of those things and then talk about what to focus on instead. Why listen to me about this? Well, we're able to look at 700 students, 700 producers and artists over the last 11 years and see what actually mattered for them and what didn't. If you don't know, I'm Justin. I run Cosmic Academy, an arts development school. And yes, we've been around for over 10 years. We have hundreds and hundreds of amazing students that have been through this program, and they get incredible results. They sign to the biggest labels like Toolroom, Armada, Anjuna, Monstercat. They play the biggest shows in the world like Ultra, Electric Zoo. This past year, we had 3 students on like 7 different stages at EDC. Last year, we had 3 students at EDC. So they get really phenomenal results. And as I said before, we're able to look at those results over the last 11 years and see what were they doing that mattered and what were the things that were kind of a waste of time, overthinking, and just a waste of energy. Because you need to think about time as your most valuable currency. What you put your time into, your mental energy into, that's like a currency, that's like money. And a lot of you are probably wasting that on things that just don't matter. So we're gonna go through them. But before we do, you need to just smash that like button. I don't know what it does. I think it helps the YouTube algorithm, but I've heard that if you smash that like button, it'll help a bunny learn how to ski. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the bunnies have been trying to learn how to ski and snowboard for years. And if you smash that like button, it gives them lessons down the slopes, and it really helps them conquer the mountain. Smash that like button, let's help some bunnies. So what really matters and what doesn't? Let's start with the first one. And if you disagree with me at first, just hear me out. That cool design of your logo does not matter. Students come to me all the time with these complicated design logos. There's like a flower and a flame and a dragon popping out of it. None of that matters, and that type of logo might actually hurt you. I say this line to my students. Listen to me, it's a great line. You won't get any fans from your logo, but you might lose potential fans if they can't read it. And that's what really matters with logos. But let's take a step back. Ask yourself for a second, do you love your favorite artist because of their logo? If they changed it, would you care? Do you think the average person even knows these artist logos? Like, do you even know what like Diplo's logo is? Do you think his fans care what his logo is? Let me put Diplo's logo up on the screen. We'll put it on a bunch of flyers he's been on. This is his logo. Yeah, Diplo's got this crazy persona. He makes some crazy music, but his logo is just kind of simple. So that's the point of your logo. What matters here, what matters with your logo? What matters is it has to be read. I wouldn't say this to you if you were starting a hat company or a sneaker company where people might buy those things because of the design. No one is coming to you and being your fan because of the design of your logo. Your logo's purpose is to be read on flyers, on cover art, specifically on the phone, small screen. The cover art's gonna be really small. The flyer, you're gonna be really small on the flyer. So legibility is more important than the design of your logo. I'm just gonna put up an ultra flyer from like last year. These are the biggest names in the world. They have the best managers, the biggest budgets, the best teams. And for the most part, I'd say 80% of these logos are just really simple. So don't worry too much about your logo. It doesn't matter that much. Keep it simple. Next thing that doesn't matter that much, your name. Yes, your name, what you call yourself, does not matter how you think it does. As long as your name isn't copying someone else or something inappropriate, it doesn't really matter. Just like your logo, no one is going to be your fan because of your name. You can think about your favorite artist again right now. Are you their fan because you like their name? No. You probably think they have a cool name because you like their music and their brand, but you're not a fan of them. You're not attracted to them. You didn't get involved with them because of their name. Would you still listen to them if they changed their name? Of course you would. So most names are just completely arbitrary. Some people use their real names, like David Guetta is David Guetta, Eric Prydz is Eric Prydz, Calvin Harris is not Calvin Harris. Do you care? No. And then there's what we call monikers. The Beatles are a great example. That's a moniker. That's not their real name. And when we think about the Beatles, we think, oh wow, great brand, great music, great name. But is it a great name? No, objectively speaking, it's a terrible name. Because when I first think about a beetle, I think about insects. Some beetles in certain parts of the world can kill you if they bite you. But no, when you think about the Beatles music, you don't associate that. You just think, oh, it's a name and they're a band. And this is the same with all of branding. When people look at the biggest company, the biggest brand in the world is Apple, right? And the main believed story about their name is that Apple was not some like thought out brilliant thing. No, Steve Jobs was a vegetarian and his favorite food was apples. And he was like, you know what? I'll just call it Apple. It starts with an A and A is beginning of the alphabet, I like apples. That was it. Do you care? No, you think it's a good brand with good products. Remember, your name is not your brand. Apple just has a great brand. The Beatles had a great brand, right? Deadmau5 has a great brand. Are they the best name? Who cares? So what matters then with names? To be honest, the only thing that matters is it needs to be a name that you like personally over a long period of time. What I mean is, people will come up with these fake names. Like, right now they're like, oh, I like Chapstick. I'll be DJ Chapstick. And they think that's really cool. But in 10 years, they wake up and they're stuck with that moniker and they hate it. And they don't like seeing it on their flyers. And they don't like seeing it on the LED screens when they're playing the shows. But at that point, you're stuck with it. So if you struggle with your name and you're kind of worried about that situation, just use your name or a variation of your name. It's a safer bet. You'll never wake up and not be that person in 10 years. If I were a producer, I would just be me. I'm Justin Sean Cohen. Maybe I'll be Justin Sean. And I'm not going to just wake up in 10 years and be like, I don't feel like Justin anymore. I feel like William. No, I'm Justin. So think long term. It doesn't really matter to the fans. It just matters to you. And trust me when I say that, because I grew up in the 90s. There were bands with the most ridiculous names, Smashing Pumpkins and then Bush and Garbage. Yeah, in the 90s, there's a very successful band called Garbage and no one cared. All right, the next stuff that doesn't really matter, I'm going to kind of group together. Your age, your location, and what you look like. Your age does not matter. I would typically never talk about a woman's age, but our student Bexy kind of wants it out there. She wants people to know her age and she wants to inspire people. So our student Rebecca, she goes by Bexy. She just played 3 stages this year at EDC Las Vegas. She just got off a 23-stop tour with 7 Lions, and she's over 40 years old, and she just started getting going. Our student Nostalgics also just played EDC Las Vegas and is on a huge tour this summer. She's in her mid-20s. Do you care that one of them is over 40 and one of them is in their mid-20s? No. And neither do the fans. The fans do not care because producers, what you're trying to do, are not pop stars. I'll say that again. Producers are not pop stars. You are not in that world playing that game. David Guetta is over 50 and he still puts out great records and people love it. No one's ever saying oh, he's too old for this. People care about a producer's music and their brand, not their age. So if you're 18 or 68, make good music. The average fan will not care or even know what your age is. On that same topic, your location does not matter. But Justin, there's no networking opportunities in my city, in my town, in my country. Justin, I need to move to LA. I can sit here and waste hours of your time naming countless producers that are from different countries, small cities, small towns from all over the world. And I would say their name and you would not care that they're from that place. I just looked up when I was preparing for this video. Kygo is from Bergen, Norway. I don't even know if I'm saying the name of his city right. I apologize if I did it incorrectly. Do you know where that is? No. Do you care? No. He makes really good music. Hardwell is from a smaller city in the Netherlands. He's not from Amsterdam. He's not from one of their big cities. Smaller city in the Netherlands. Do you care? No. And we have students from all over the world. Small cities, different countries, different towns. People hear their music on Spotify. They like it. They have no idea where they're from. That's all that matters. Now that we have the internet and social media, it makes location a non-factor. Get your music out there. Get your brand out there. If you're in Argentina and you have great music and a great brand, that's what's going to matter. You'll tour all over the world and most people will never even realize that you're from Argentina. And then your look does not matter. What you look like doesn't matter. As I said before, you are not a pop star. You're not doing choreographed dances on stage. The truth is you're mostly hidden in some dark studio or behind a DJ booth, right? People can barely see you anyway. Do you have any idea how many artists I listen to that if they walked up to me on the street, I would have no idea who they are. I would have no idea what they look like. This isn't the past when it was all about image. People care about your music and your brand. How you look is neither of those things. You can even take current pop stars. I feel yeah, there's still some of that, oh, you have to be a certain look, a certain age if you're doing pop. But honestly, there's some people completely breaking that mold just because they're really, really great at the music and the brand. I don't know if you know this guy, Louis Capaldi, but I fucking love this guy. He's got a great voice, he has great music, and he's absolutely hilarious. He also has Tourette's, and sometimes he can't help it, but he has these like tics and these Tourette's attacks when he's on stage. And a lot of people just didn't even know that until they saw him live. And guess what? They didn't even fucking care. He has an amazing voice. Like, go check him out on TikTok. He puts out great content. He's really funny and he's great music. Spotify, social media, all these things. Yes, it allows people to be very close to you and it's very connecting, but it also allows people to ignore some of the things that we used to think mattered. When a song pops up on my feed on Spotify and I listen, I actually don't run and check how old is this person? Where do they live? What's their logo? What do they look like? Because those things just don't matter. So please, please, please stop overthinking those things. Don't spend mental energy or that time currency on those things. The things that truly matter when it's all said and done are your music and your brand. That's what matters. You need to have content that connects with people and professional quality music. Now, I'm not a production teacher. Zach, he's the master of that at our program. So I'm going to link you to a video to get better at that side. And that's a side that really, really matters. So go check that one out right now. We'll see you next time.